So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Patty, and I'm with the Asian Venture Philanthropy Network, AVPN. I was very impressed that Dan was able to spell that whole thing out. So I'll share a little bit more about who we are, and I guess share a little bit more about what we see in Asia in terms of what's happening in the impact investment space. So AVPN is one of the largest, I would say, Asian networks whose members are focused on channeling resources. So resources meaning not only financial, but human capital and intellectual capital and social capital into making greater social and environmental impact. We currently have about 400 members across 28 different countries. We are headquartered in Singapore, so Singapore is our largest membership base, but second to that would be India and sort of Greater China, mainland, Hong Kong, and Taiwan, and as well as Southeast Asia, the rest of Southeast Asia. So as a network, what we want to create, what we're doing is to have a platform for like-minded organizations to connect and collaborate. We also have our own knowledge center, so we do research and we do workshops. So I actually forgot to bring two of the newest reports that we've done. And the other thing is that we sort of act as the bridge to connect funders or resource providers with social purpose organizations. So we have our deal share platform. So when we talked about in AVPN, we like to talk about the social investing spectrum. So what we call the continuum of capital. And in the previous session that I heard here, one of the speakers also talked about that. But for today and for this session, so I'll focus only on part of my membership, which is those that are working very specifically on impact investment. So in general, I think that good trends, we do see, for example, mainstream financial institutions that are getting into impact investment. So one of the largest banks in Singapore, the United Overseas Bank, UOB, they're partnering with Credit Suisse, their wealth management and philanthropy arm, and they've launched about 2 years ago a 25 million impact fund. So we also see UBS, they've created a couple of impact funds, but one of the most recent ones, there are more and more Asian philanthropists and Asian players that are actually the main LPs in the fund. So there's a lot of new wealth in Asia, and I think that also the next generation, or what we call the millennials or the younger generation, a lot of them want to, I guess, make a bit of a difference to their previous generation, and they do really want to do good investing while doing good. So from that side, we see a lot more players, as well as we see a movement of traditional foundations that are doing a little bit more looking at impact investment. So for example, one of the largest foundations in Japan, the Nippon Foundation, because interest rates are so low, actually the endowment of the foundation is losing money every year. So now the board has approved that part of that endowment can be allocated to impact investment. So in general, there's, I think a lot more players. Having said that, I think that the missing middle, or the kind of pioneering gap for organizations, social enterprises that are past that seed stage, but no more on the growing stage, that funding available is still limited. And what was the other question we needed to address?
Anything that you're finding exciting emerging, or was there anything that you find worrying?
Yeah, so exciting. As I said, I think it's good to have more players. Worrying a little bit. So for us, what we say, what does it mean to do it well? So I think one of it is the intentionality of it. So really, that the point is to you're looking for a social impact. So I worry that there are a lot of they're using the term impact investment because they feel that it's popular or you can get more people interested. But when you look at the underlying portfolio of what they're investing in, maybe you would challenge whether that is impactful or not, and whether there are other sort of traditional financing products available that would already be servicing those businesses. We also talk about long term. So there are in China, we see a lot of sort of, you want to do short term and you want to get returns, double-digit returns. But that, the whole ecosystem and the pipeline of social enterprises is just, not ready for that. So as an organization, we do say that, there's a lot of need of incubating and of really building the capacity of the organization for your own pipeline, for later on making more investments. Because, it's, if everybody wants to go for the low-hanging fruits, but there's just not enough pipeline. So you need to take a little bit of greater risk or kind of put more time in building the capacity of the organization. So, I had a few more slides, but I don't really usually stick to my slides. So, so that's it.
Thanks, Patty.